Yep, relationships. That's right. Relationships are something that I'm not so good at. This video, I'm gonna try my best not to edit out anything because I know it's gonna be a long video and it's gonna take me too long to edit. And I kind of want this video to be as raw as possible. So I want to talk about two particular relationships I had, and the reason why is because the way the way it ended is very similar, at least from my perspective. A long time ago, I had a relationship, a 3-year relationship with this guy, and it was right after a really bad relationship, and I don't think I was over that one, so kind of started off on the wrong foot, to be honest with you, and that could have been one of the reasons why it didn't work out. But the thing is that, well, we lived together for 3 years, and I'm just trying to make these stories short so they don't drag on and on. And I do have a point. I hope I have a point by the end of this video. It ended for me very abruptly and shockingly. When things were going right, at least from my point of view, he broke it off. He said that he no longer loved me. And the thing is that he was telling me that he loved me just a few days ago. And other things happened that made it more terrible, but I don't really want to go into that because that's not the point of this video. Anyway, I was really shocked and I was devastated, and I pretty much pathetically begged him to take me back, and I'd do anything for him. He left the house immediately, and I was hoping it was all a bad dream. I cried myself to sleep, and I woke up, and when I realized it wasn't a dream, I wanted to go back to sleep. I was devastated. I called him on the phone and I begged him again. And yeah, that was kind of pathetic of me. I really thought I would do anything. I thought I'd do anything. I'd be a different person to have him back. That's how much I loved him, I think. And someone, actually one of his friends, called me up and said, I hate seeing you this way. Don't lose yourself. You don't have to be a different person. You're you, and don't lose that. And I don't like seeing you this way. And for some reason that kind of helped. I noticed that I was losing myself because I was being very apologetic and just crazy and pathetic, and I actually forgot who it was for a moment there. And although difficult, I got off my ass and I went to the nearby florist in my neighborhood and I asked if I could work for free just to keep myself busy, because I was afraid that I was going to go crazy. So obviously the store staff thought I was crazy, but I said, just pay me. If you sell something, just pay me a commission. I don't care if it's 5% or 1% for that matter. And anyway, I did well. I actually brought them a lot of business, and I decided to make some new friends along the way, and everything was fine. I got over that one, and that was good. It was good that I broke up, but it was a really bad and traumatic experience for me. And then a more recent one a more recent relationship that I had, and that one lasted for 6 years, so it was longer, and I think it was the one of my longest true relationships. And I've had a lot of different kind of relationships that I haven't talked about on this channel. Maybe one day I will, because they're just so warped that I'm scared to think of what you guys would think of me, but I really shouldn't care, because this channel should be all about authenticity and me just being me. And well, I guess I wanted to talk about this particular relationship that ended. And well, I think it's the first time in my entire life that I truly could imagine myself being married to this guy. The problem was that I was not in a good situation. The situation wasn't good. And so, even though in the beginning I didn't think anything was going to come out of it because I was in this situation, things progressed to the point where it went to the point of no return, really, for me. And the thing is that I know that once I open my heart, once I remove this wall I have, I'm super vulnerable, and I don't like myself when I get that vulnerable, because I become so dependent on the other person, and I don't realize it until it's too late. I know now, looking back at it, that was my mistake. I shouldn't have become complacent. I should have been more mature, and I should have stepped back from all the craziness that was going on in my life and thought more about what this person was going through. But I couldn't, for some reason. And then I look back at it, and I see all these things that I should have done differently. It's funny how life is, isn't it? But so this breakup was very similar to the first one, in that I thought things were going fine. And in my mind, I had marriage plans. I had wedding bells in my head, and I was preparing myself for that. I was preparing myself for this new life. And I was too late. And for the first couple of days, I regretted everything. And I almost lost myself again. I felt like going back and begging him to take me back. And then I remembered that the other breakup that I had, because the feeling was very similar. I loved that guy that I went out with the first time, but this one I loved even more. So obviously my heart was a lot more vulnerable and open. I was angry at myself for allowing me to be so vulnerable. And after the anger subsided, it was just feelings of loneliness and just not being able to quite function right. But quickly enough, you know, because you know that you'll get over relationships. I hope. Some takes longer than others. I searched for advice on how to get over it. I tried to follow the instructions, and I did, but for some reason it made me feel like shit. Because it tells you to avoid your boyfriend, avoid your partner, you know, or it tells you you gotta act like you're moving on because that's more attractive to your ex. And I tried looking for a new partner, and I was so depressed trying to look for a new partner. I even tried to I thought, I mean, there were some people that actually told me I should go sleep with someone and it'll make me feel better, make me forget about my ex. I tried, I couldn't. I just couldn't. And maybe because I was older and smarter, I know, this time around, I just decided I'm not gonna make myself feel bad. I'm not gonna make myself fall into that hole again by covering my true emotions by having sex with a stranger or strangers or going out with someone else when I'm not even ready. And so I decided that I'm going to feel my emotions. And you know, and this is what I thought about those professionals, so-called professionals that give you advice about relationships and how you're supposed to respond and react. I can see the truth in it and how it could be helpful, but I don't know, when I was doing it I felt awful, and I thought, I don't know, maybe it's kind of all BS because humans are more complicated than that, don't you think? I mean, I don't think it pertains to every single human being on the planet, because it didn't feel right for me. It didn't make me feel good, and it wasn't about me trying to get my ex back or anything anymore. It was more about just being true and being authentic, I guess. You know, just... And so I asked myself, what do you want to do? You know, you don't, if you don't want to have sex with other people, don't. So I decided not to. If you don't want to have if you don't want to have another romantic relationship right away, don't. You don't have to. And instead, I decided to focus on things that would improve my life. I decided that I'm gonna try my best to not think about it, and it's not easy, but, and there's, you know, ups and downs throughout the whole day, but I decided to go to the gym again. I made hard decisions in my life that I couldn't make before this, because it kind of opened my eyes to what was really happening. And I decided I'm gonna become the best version of myself. That's right. I'm gonna become the most fabulous, amazing, awesome version of myself. That's what I decided to do. I'm gonna be, I know it's crazy, but I'm gonna become more handsome. I'm gonna become more buff, and all that. I'm gonna be more successful and happier, all by myself, and that is okay. And if someone comes along, that I can feel that close to again, that's great. That's great. And I'm not giving up hope. Yeah. Sorry. I needed to talk about that. And I know many of you guys are wondering why, but it's just how it is. It's just how it is. I needed to talk about that. You guys said I could come to you guys if I need to talk. And that's why I decided to talk about that. I had a pretty messed up life. Still dealing with the issues. But I'm seeing things clearly. I'm not a perfect human being. So I'm not gonna be perfect. I'm still gonna mess up. But I'm gonna try my best to keep my head up high, to stand proud, and to be the best version of myself for the rest of my life.